Bring it up for Terrance, Leftridge. This is UnStopABLE.
Are you unstoppable? Let me hear you say I'm unstoppable. Let me hear you say unstoppable. 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 All right, you are unstoppable. Hey. It is an unstoppable day. Give yourselves a round of applause for getting up this early in the morning. Oh my God. You know what? First of all, I got to say, oh my God. It has been 3 years since I have been on a live stage. I am so happy to be back. I missed your stage. I missed your stairs. I missed your audience. Oh my God. I've got so many hugs over these last 36 hours, and I got more to do. And this is what for a speaker, this is just like the ultimate. Because we love the interaction. We love the energy that comes along with it. And I just love being up here with you. So I got a question for you. And I got it cleared from my wife. We're about to be married for 20 years in July. For 20 years. And so I asked her a question this morning. And before I ask the question, are there any couples in the house? Any couples in the house? Raise your hands high. Don't be shy. All right. It's Valentine's Day, so wicked happy Valentine's Day for you. So here's my question, and I got it approved from my wife. I talked to her, and so here's the question. Is it okay? Yes. Do I have your permission to have intercourse with all of you? Yes.
Oh.
All right. So now I know there's some eyes here. There's some wondering where is he going with this? What's he talking about? But my wife said it was okay. And when your wife says it's okay to have intercourse with over 40 people in a weekend, you're like, hell yeah, let's do this. And before I go any further, I want to blame this all on Dean's store in the back of the room. Dean, stand up, Dean. This is all Dean's fault. Because Dean gave me my message today. When you Google the word intercourse, it actually talks about the ability to communicate with 2 or more individuals. It's the art of being in communion. So for all you dirty people out there that was thinking something completely different than what I was thinking, now let me ask the question. Is it okay if I have intercourse with all of you this morning?
Yes!
All right, give yourselves a round of applause for that. So listen, I'm going to take you on a journey today in the little bit of time I have left at 36 minutes and 51. Okay, anyway, seconds that I have with you this morning. But I want to start off with this. So repeat this after me. Good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
We can't let it rest.
We can't let it rest.
Till our good is our better.
Until our good is our better.
And our better is our best.
And our better is our best.
Now look to your neighbor, left or right, I don't care. Say to your neighbor, good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
You can't let it rest.
You can't let it rest.
Till your good is your better.
Until your good is your better.
And your better is your best.
And your better is your best.
Thank you so much. So I want you guys to remember that because we're going to talk about this as we go along the journey of Terrance. The journey of Terrance from his good to his better. And so hopefully today, his best. So come along with me. And while I'm doing that, I couldn't think of any better way to do it than to talk about the books. Because every one of the books that I have is part of my story. And here's what I want you to know. And as they said yesterday, I love to say note takers are money makers. But note takers are change makers. And each and every one of you, if you decide to become the best version of yourself, I believe you can make a change. You can make a change today, you can make a change tomorrow, then so on and so on. So hopefully you're taking notes about all of this today. First note, each and every one of you should be looking to become the best version of yourself because you have a story. Say story.
Story.
Absolutely. I didn't always believe I had the story. You know, most people call me Mr. Unstoppable and they don't even know my first name because that's the story that I walk in now. But there was a time where I didn't think anybody wanted to hear my story. I didn't think anybody would want to see me come on stage. I didn't think anyone would want to give me the mic. I didn't even think anyone would want to give me the time of day because I didn't think my story mattered. As a matter of fact, I didn't have any tragedies in my life. I didn't have any difficult circumstances. I hadn't lost anybody up to that point. I was really, and if I'm being completely transparent with each and every one of you, I was really a criminal who just hadn't got arrested yet. And if I had got arrested and stood in front of a judge, the judge would convict me of the crime. Terrance Leftridge, you are convicted of the crime of living an average life. And what I found out in my research is that I'm not the only one. See if you know this person. You get up, you go to work, you go home, you go to sleep. You get up, you go to work, you go home, you go to sleep. Anybody know anybody like that? Oh, it's just me? Okay, Jessica, thank you for being transparent. I wasn't living. I was really just existing. I was coasting down the avenue of life. I was the hamster in the wheel, just going through the motions, whatever came, whatever came. And that was good for me. Good, better, best. We can't let it rest till our good becomes our better, and our better becomes our best. I was cool with good. Good had me at a good government job that I worked for 10 years. Good got me that white picket fence in that house. Good got me that marriage that now is going on 20 years. Good even got me that midlife crisis car. Yeah, I was rolling down the street in my Jag, leaning to the side, sipping on, well, no, y'all don't need to know about that. But then 2008 came, and many people remember the 2008 for the financial collapse. I remember it for the Terrance Leftridge collapse. And that was my defining moment. Write that down, defining moment. I got to work that full day. And then if anyone else has had this experience, you know that at the end of the day, 4:30, you're either going home to come back the next day, or in my case, you're going to see your manager. And your manager is telling you those 3 words that nobody ever wants to hear. Anybody know what those 3 words are?
You're fired.
You are fired.
Flip the tables over, that's right there.
I'm looking at them. All of a sudden I felt like I had a Matrix moment. What you talking about, Willis? And they said, you are fired. And they had security take me back to my office with my box and grab that 10 years of things that I had supplied in my office while I existed in 10 years of life. And just like that, my good just went bad. But good, better, best, we can't let it rest until our good becomes our better and our better becomes our best. But now, did you recognize, well, at least in my case, even though that day in 2008, I got fired, I was firing myself long before they ever got fired. Long before they ever told me those 3 words, I had fired myself because I was just existing. I was just going to work, and it was like Marvin Gaye. I just had to give it up. I was that paycheck. I was just rolling with the punches. I could do that job on autopilot. I could do it in my sleep. And because I was able to do it so well, I didn't think about it anymore. But I was sitting at my desk, and here, there was this burning that said, Terrance, you could be someplace else. And I told DJ Mike I was going to be testing him, but there was this other song that came to my life when I would go to work every day and I was just existing. And I don't know if many of you have heard this song, but I'll just sing a little bit of it because I didn't give it to DJ Mike. But there was this time in my life because I was able to go on autopilot so well that, have you ever heard the song that says, your body's here with me, but your mind is on the other side of town. You hear it? You're messing me around. And that's what I was doing. My mind was on the other side of town. Yeah, I could do the work, but my mind was elsewhere. My mind was thinking about what I could be doing next. What was the next thing? Because I was good at this, but something said there was something better for me. Something better. Good, better, best. You can't let it rest till your good becomes your better and your better becomes your best. But for many, you never get from good to better because it's so safe in the good zone. You know what's to expect in the good zone. You know what's going to happen each and every day in the good zone. But when you try to step out to do better, oh, that fear just takes over. That false evidence appearing real just comes to life, and you go back to good. You go back to what you know, because what you know is good. And sometimes I say God is a funny God. I call him God. You call him whoever you want to call him. That's fine with me. God's a funny God because he knew I was good here, but he also knew there was better for me over there. But he knew I was good here, so I wasn't going to step out of this goodness. So God closed the door. He took my good away from me so that I could see that there was so much more better for me. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to become the best version of you, sometimes people have to take your good away. They have to take that job away from you. They have to take that good relationship away from you. They have to take those good finances away from you. Not because but your mind is on the all right, give it up for Dr. DJ Mike. You have to lose some things in order to gain some things. You have to lose in order to gain. That all never made sense to me. Why do I have to lose something in order to gain something? Well, that burning thing inside of you, it's called a GPS. Who knows what GPS stands for? Anybody? In the back. Nah, that's what I thought too. And that's what I thought from the very moment I came out of my mama's womb, global positioning system. But I learned later on in life, especially after this happened, after my good was gone, that the GPS stands for God's purpose system. God's purpose system. And each and every one of you has your own GPS. For me, it's right here. For some of you, it might be still up here. And there's a phrase that says, wherever you are in life now, your mind got there first. Wherever you are in life, your mind got there first. And sometimes that can be to your detriment because your mind might still be here on good. And you can't see that better is waiting for you. So God has to shake things up so that you can shake your mind up, so that you can have a new perspective, so that you can see a new thing. And that's what he did to me. And I was mad. So I had a conversation with God. Nah, I'm lying. I had an arguing match with God. I went out in my backyard at 1 o'clock in the morning. That backyard that was attached to that good house that came from my good government job, where I was good. Oh, I wasn't good anymore. So I stepped out in that backyard and I looked up at God and I said, God, why have you forsaken me? God, why are you putting me in this situation? God, you said you would be there in the midst, and I need you in the midst right now. I need you to change my situation 180 degrees from where it was right this moment, because right this moment, this ain't working for me. Ladies and gentlemen, he gave me one word, and that's it. Y'all want to know what that word was? Anybody know what that word was? Unstoppable. One powerful word he gave me in the middle of the night that I had no idea what you're talking about. What are you talking about, God? Unstoppable. But then God broke it down for me. It's only God that broke it down. So let me break it down for you real quick. Did you know that unstoppable, I don't spell it like everybody else. Yeah, that's an old sign back there, but I spell it this way. You spell it UnStopABLE. I spell it capital U, lowercase n, capital S, lowercase T-O-P, only one P, capital A-B-L-E. Now let me tell you what those three words are. The three words, U-N, usually stands for not. And we think of those things as the things that we do not have. We think about those things that we did not get. We think about those things that we do not aspire to be in our lives. We think about the relationships that we don't have anymore. We think about the marriages we don't have anymore. We think about the finances we don't have anymore. And those are the things that keep us stuck right in place. And then the second word is that proverbial red stop sign that keeps us right where we are. Keeps you stopping from moving forward. Keeps you stopping from living your dreams. Keep you stopping from going to the next thing that's supposed to be in your life. But oh, ladies and gentlemen, I love the last word. The last word is the capital A-B-L-E. Able. And here's what I want you to know today. I want each and every one of you to know that you are able. Let me hear you say it. You are able. Turn to your neighbor, say it. You are able. Now I want you to tap yourself. And I want you to make it personal. I want you to say, I am able. Absolutely. Yes, you are. You are able. And that's what makes you unstoppable. When I tapped into that unstoppable force, when I tapped into that unstoppable presence, I went from my good to my better. What was my better? Fast forward 2009, I opened my business, Unstoppable Coaching Practice, where we focus more on helping you be able to do what you can do instead of focusing on what's stopping you. Some people have to remember where your energy goes. Where your energy goes. That's where your mind flows. You've got to recognize that whatever you focus on, you will achieve. Focus stands for follow one course until successful. And many of you have been following one course, but you may have looked around and you might have had a Saucony Prince moment. You were focusing on the wrong mountain. And you stuck. But when you recognize, when you start focusing more on what you're able to do and less on what's stopping you, then you'll be like Charlotte White. You'll have victory and you'll be able to dance around the stage because you have focused on the right thing. So I changed my focus and God gave me this vision. And he gave me this vision that, you know what? You always thought that you didn't have a story. But I'm here to tell you that you do. And so in 2014, I wrote my first book. You are unstoppable. The 11 key attributes to living an unstoppable life. I never had any idea that there was a book inside of me because I didn't think I had a story inside of me. But when I changed my focus and when I tapped into my source, I found out that my good just wasn't good enough, that I could be better. As better became this book. And this book led me to speaking engagements. And this book led me to podcasts where I was just guesting on. And then someone said that, you know what? You really have a great voice and you have a great message. You should create your own podcast. Once again, good, better, best. We can't let it rest till our good becomes our better and our better becomes our best. So in 2015, I started my first podcast and I started getting seen on social media. And then I met my speaker coach, Ambassador Dr. Ruben West. I wish he could have been here today, but you guys will be able to see him probably in October. I'm sorry, I was supposed to let that out the bag, right? Okay, so Brenda will tell you more about October. Trust me, you want to be there. So I met Ruben West, and he helped me craft my story. And he said to me that you have a message. And I said, no, I don't. He said, yes, you do. And I ran from that. I ran from the stage because I still didn't think people wanted to see me up here. But then I did an event in 2015, and in 2015, that message, someone said to me, well, you know what? You're a great MC. You know how to tie everybody's story together and really bring it home for the audience. I said, oh, okay. So I said to Dr. West, hey, Dr. West, I think I want to be an MC. This was in October of 2015. Ladies and gentlemen, in November of 2015, I get a phone call from Dr. West. He says, Terrance, what are you doing after Thanksgiving? I said, I'll probably be on my couch because I'll be too full from all the turkey and the dressing that I'm eating. He's like, okay. Why don't you come to Kansas City? I'm doing an event, and I need an MC. Good, better, best. We can't let it rest till our good becomes our better and our better becomes our best. So I have to chase it better because I spoke it into the universe. Ladies and gentlemen, the next message is you got to speak your better into the universe. Ask and it shall be given. Seek and you shall find. I seek somebody who can help me get to the next level of my greatness. And all I did was ask. And I was on stage emceeing Dr. Ruben West's event. And at that point, I was just ecstatic. I was like, yes! And then he said, oh, by the way, we're gonna have a keynote speaker, and you get to introduce him. Okay, that's fine, I can do that. Little did I know that the keynote speaker was this unknown man from Miami, Florida. Mamie Brown's baby boy, Mr. Les Brown, was the keynote speaker. And your boy, Mr. UnStopABLE, got to introduce him. I was like, what? Good, better, best. We can't let it rest till our good becomes our better and our better becomes our best. You know, I got better at that event. And I'm here to say that as long as you continue to walk in that point of being good, better, and best each and every day, you can continue to be the best version of you. But that's not the end of the story. Because I went on to MC not one event where Les Brown was the keynote speaker, not two events where he was the keynote speaker, but 3 events in 2 years where Les Brown was the keynote speaker. I got to break bread with Les Brown in his hotel room. I got to teach Les Brown how to do his first Facebook Live, all because I practiced going from good to better. But as you notice, I ain't stepped there yet. And here's the final message for you. Because each and every day, you get the opportunity to go from good to better to best. I thought I was at my best when I interviewed Les Brown. I thought I was at my best when I introduced him on stage. I thought I was at my best when he actually did a promo commercial for me that's on my website to this day, talking about my services as an MC and highly recommending me to be an MC. I thought I was at my best, but ladies and gentlemen, that's just another chapter in the story. Because God was not done He said, okay, you told your story. I gave you some glory, but I'm not done with you yet. Now, you need to help other people tell their story. Because there are people just like you who are out there living an average lifestyle, and they need to be convicted too. And you, Terrance, are the judge. You are the person that I am assigning to help them get their story out. So I was like, how are you going to do that, God? He said, I want you to write another book. What you talk about, Jesus? It took me 2.5 years to write this first book because I tell people, I am a coach. I am not an author. I am a coach who writes books. I am not someone who writes books and then coaches. That just wasn't me. God, it took me 2.5 years to write that first book. How am I going to write another book? And he said, good, better, best. You can't let it rest until your good becomes your better. And I help you bring out your best. So here comes the second book in 2017. Now, I don't know if you can see from out there, but the first book is a lot thinner than the second book.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reason for that. Because God said, no, you're not writing your story this time. You're going to help other people tell their story. So he introduced me to this terminology called anthology. And in 2017, I curated the next book in the You Are Unstoppable series. Some of you aspiring authors who rose your hand yesterday, you're going to get this series. It's not just one book. It's a number of books. And on the back, the person who a few short years earlier didn't think he had his own story, helped 8 other people become first-time authors by telling their story, helping them get their message out to the masses, continuing to help them go from good to better, as I went from good to better, so that we could all become our best. Ladies and gentlemen, I said this to you last night. Sometimes becoming the best version of yourself requires you to do better for other people, because other people are watching you. Other people are looking at what you're doing. Other people are saying, well, if Terry Moore can do it, then maybe, just maybe, I can do it too. Other people are saying that if Michelle is going to shine her light brighter, then maybe somebody else can shine their light brighter too. Somebody is saying that if Shauna, with everything that she's been through in her life, if she can speak poetry, if she can spit rhymes, she can be a speaker, and she's doing it with everything she's been through, if Shauna can do it, then maybe I can do it too. Good, better, best. We can't let it rest till our good becomes our better, and our better becomes our best. Ladies and gentlemen, as I stand here before you, I feel like I'm at my best, because I can see it in your eyes. I can see that you guys are getting it. I can see goosebumps. I can see reflections. But I've been here a couple of times, and I know that this is just my best for the moment. Everybody do this. That was the breath. That was the gift that God gave you. Do it again. He just gave you another gift. Each and every breath you take is a gift from God. Each and every breath you take is another opportunity for you to go from good to better to best. Now, what you decide to do at that moment is completely up to you, but you heard Jeff say yesterday that you've got to make every second count, because you never know when that might be your last.
That's right.
You just took 2 breaths. Somebody did take a breath this morning. somebody in this universe that was here just yesterday is not here today. It's too late for them. But because you were able to take a breath right now, I know for a fact it's never too late. I know for a fact, I even wrote about it. The last book was It's Never Too Late. And I wrote this book. I thought about this book in 2017, but it didn't come into fruition. I thought about that book in 2018. It didn't come into fruition. I thought about that book in 2019, January, February, March, April, May. I thought about that book, but it wasn't the right time. And then, I no longer had an average story. I had that devastation in my life that most people talk about. I lost my sister, my ace boom coon, my ride or die, passed away from cancer. Melanoma, 54 years old. I was there when she took her last breath. And from that moment, God spoke to me and he said, this is for you. This is to let you know to stop taking time for granted. To stop thinking that you got all the time in the world to do all the things that you want to do. Put off for tomorrow what you could do today, because you think today and tomorrow is always promised. But ladies and gentlemen, you probably heard it before. Yesterday is the past. Tomorrow, not promised. That's why you're here today, in the present. And that's why they call it a gift. And my gift to you is to let you know that because you are still here today, that it's never too late. It's never too late for you to live your dreams. It's never too late for you to change that career. It's never too late for you to transition into your God-given purpose. It's never too late for you to find love. It's never too late for whatever it is you dream, whatever vision you have, whatever GPS is inside of you, as long as you are still here, it's never too late. But you've got to do one thing for me. And I'm going to talk about it a little bit later in the workout. Tap your neighbor again. Say good, better, best. Oh, y'all can do better than that. Good, better, best.
Good, better, best.
We can't let it rest.
We can't let it rest.
Until our good becomes our better.
Until our good becomes our better.
And our better becomes our best.
And our better becomes our best.
Now tap yourself. This is what you need to do in order to become the best version of yourself. It all begins with that tap. And anyone who knows me, y'all know I love acronyms. So what does the TAP stand for? Here it comes, write it down. The TAP stands for take action personally. Take action personally. When I used to grow up in school, there was a song that we would have in church, and it was like, it's not my mama, not my sister, no, it's me, oh Lord, standing in the need of prayer. Nobody else in this room can tap into your GPS for you. Oh, my brother, oh, my sister, you got to do that yourself. You've got to take action personally. And if you decide that you are going to take action personally, and if you decide that it's never too late for you to have what you want in your life, and if you decide today that you're going to go from your good to your better and ultimately to your best, then you are on your path to being unstoppable. Now, I want to leave you with this as I get off the stage and as DJ starts queuing up my exit message. You know what? I got lots of energy because I done found my better. And I'm working on my best. And here's the one thing I know. Success is when you go from your good to your better and to your best. And I just feel so good when I go from my better to my best that it just makes me want to dance. And let me tell you, every time I would dance, I said, oh, I dance all the time when I go from my good to my better to my best. And you know, I said I love acronyms, so I had to come up with an acronym for dance. So here's the last acronym I'm gonna give to you, and I'm gonna get off this stage. Dance, write it down, y'all. The D stands for dream. Dream it, y'all. The D stands for dreaming, and the A stands for achieving, and the N stands for never give up on it. And if you never give up on it, then you can claim it. And then here comes that E, y'all. When you dream it, when you accept it, when you achieve it, when you never give up on it, and when you claim it, you can just expect success.
Come on now.
You can expect to go from good.
Come on, boy.
To go to better. You can expect to be your best, and then you can dance.
Yes, come on.
So if you want to go from good